greatest show on television. All right, they say that some pictures are worth 1,000 words. Well, this one just won't shut the F up. Remember this dress worn by A-list socialist AOC at the ghoulish Met Gala where the master sauntered around maskless while the servants impersonated the Gimp from Pulp Fiction? There hasn't been a more stark contrast of the powerful and the plebes since I was on The Daily Show. Each ticket cost 35 grand. Yeah, a real working class event. It must feel great waiting on snobs who paid your yearly income for a night out. But the good news is they also think you're rife with disease, so you better keep the masks on. Tax the rich was the in-your-face, maskless face message. I just screwed that up, but I don't care. It was the message to the rich white libs who would like nothing more than for you to think that they agree. Which is why this message was about as edgy as the world's greatest grandpa coffee mug. But worse, and not that surprising, the designer of AOC's dress happily ignores her own message. A New York Post exclusive portrays Aurora James as a notorious tax deadbeat with unpaid debts, dogging her in multiple states. It's true, Wesley Snipes has a better reputation with the IRS than her. Dresses well. She has 6 IRS tax liens totaling $103,000 on her parent company and a 17 grand fine for failing to carry workman's comp. That parent company sounds more like a deadbeat dad. She faces legal challenges for non-payment of worker benefits. The company currently owes 62 grand, says the Post. 62 grand! Do you know what you could buy with that type of moolah? Yeah, 2 tickets to the Met Gala. Her company, Cultural Brokerage, has been hit with more warrants than your average MS-13 gang member. 15 to be exact, since 2015. That's at least 10 more than Cat. But to be fair, unlike cats, they don't involve puncturing a nightclub's bouncer's eardrum with a stiletto.
One time.
More than once. And as she stiffed Uncle Sam, James' company received over 41 grand in pandemic relief. She truly puts the artist and scam artist. Meanwhile, former staffers call her place of work a sweatshop, and not as a compliment either. She apparently relied on unpaid interns working full-time jobs. This is something we don't do here. Right, Joe?
Not at all, Greg. I'm amply rewarded for the work I do nonstop from morning until late at night. Hey, do you think I'll be able to make eye contact soon? And, oh, by the way, thank you for the free gruel.
You're welcome. One of the Joes, I forget which one. Now, one worker claims that the designer would force her to schedule her dressmaker's gynecological appointments. I could safely say, I would never do that.
Greg, I moved your pap smear to 10:30.
Well, maybe once. For a few months, I identified as a mermaid. And let me tell you, bacteria from the ocean is no laughing matter down there. Wow. But this shouldn't surprise you. In the world of progressivism, the act of caring about the powerless is often a way to enhance your own power. It's your moat against criticism, giving you a pass for derelict behavior. You can still flaunt your Louis Vuitton bag as long as your receipts are made of recyclable material. And if you say all the right liberal things, no one dares peek behind the curtain to call out your scams. Thank God for the Emmys, right? They should give themselves an award for Best Tone-Deaf Clown Carnival. It's where our greatest Hollywood celebs went maskless Sunday to converge in an orgy of mutual masturbation. But if anybody should be hiding their faces behind a mask, it's these self-absorbed, sanctimonious sellouts. There was more integrity in a holding cell at Rikers. It's a prison, you West Coasters. So while your kids must wear masks in school, and while you must wear masks at the gym, and while I must wear a mask in bed, has nothing to do with COVID, but everything to do with role-playing. These recognition-craving lemmings pack themselves together without a mask in sight. Well, except, of course, for the non-celebs, the assistants, the servers, and the press, who all embrace the role of handmaidens to their famous superiors. They all look like extras from Eyes Wide Shut. Speaking of handmaids, congrats to that show, which broke the record for most Emmy losses in history. Or should I say herstory? What a shame. It had such a positive message. Yeah, it turns out Creating a dismal, miserable mess of male loathing only works in women's studies classes. My colonoscopy won more Emmys. To be fair, what a surprise ending. 4 Matchbox cars. I counted 3 at the time. But at least there were jokes.
I have the results of the special recall election for the 2018 Emmy for Outstanding Comedy. As you remember, that year, the marvelous Mrs. Maisel was duly elected with an overwhelming majority, but California law does allow for the recall of any Emmy award if enough signatures are first obtained, meaning the 2018 Emmy winner for Best Comedy could soon be the marvelous Mrs. Larry Elder.
That was like a 4-hour drive to 10 minutes at the beach. Whew. And talk about speaking truth to power, am I right? I haven't heard material this daring since Pat Boone's latest commercial for Relief Factor. Granted, he looked great in that robe. But it's one of the greatest things that happened in the last decade, this implosion of awards shows, which happened because we're just more aware of their hypocrisies. Turns out that the more sanctimonious judgments these bozos make to viewers, the fewer viewers they end up having, because we see who they really are. Couple that with the gloom and doom content that's always trying to brand the consumer as evil, and you're left with an auditorium full of virtue-signaling millionaire terrified that their personal scandals might finally be met with accountability. It's why Rose McGowan scares the out of them. In sum, award shows are like a mobster's trunk. They stink of death. And maybe that's why the help were wearing masks after all. Sadly, no mask can block the stench of hypocrisy, privilege, and clueless self-absorption. The only people who don't know it are the losers who keep showing up, thinking they're winners. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's won Emmys, Golden Globes, and my annual wet t-shirt contest, TV writer and producer Rob Law. Her star is rising so fast it gave astronomers whiplash. Host of Mansion Global on Fox Business, Casey McDonald. Someone's got a case of the Mondays and lice. Fox News contributor Kat Timm. And he's legally barred from owning a trampoline, my massive sidekick, and the NWA World Television Champion, Tyrus. So, Rob, welcome back. It's been a while.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
assume
right.
you've been working, but who knows?
I've been, we'll go with that. I've been working.
Yes, you've been working, of course. You did win an Emmy, correct?
I've been nominated many times.
Oh, but you've lost.
So this was
This is a sore spot for you.
difficult. It's a difficult moment for me, yeah.
Yes.
Because on the one hand, I like the fact you're making fun of it. On the other hand, I really do plan to be back there someday. And I will be wearing a giant white robe that says, please do not audit my 2017 tax returns. Look at that, tax there it is, tax the rich.
Yes, you know, a way to change the subject, Ron.
Thank you. Oh, we want to go right back to my my
Yes.
award failures?
If you want to get an award, you can't do this show if you want to win an Emmy because you'll be blacklisted.
My secret plan is that no one in Hollywood watches this show.
It's wrong, though.
Unfortunately, that's the truth. This is why this will be my last appearance. Probably not the only reason it'll be my last
I think that's a net plus for us.
right.
You can like disguise them.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can wear like a little costume and they guess who it is.
Yes, exactly.
I do have a People's Choice Award
Right. For what?
for my work on a television show called Cheers.
Oh.
Thank you. And
Back when everybody used to know your name.
Right, and I have a Writers Guild Award for a group writing a sketch that appeared on the Earth Day special of like 1999 or something like that. Yeah, so that's the way you get. That's how you get awards in Hollywood. You just do something for the Earth Day.
Exactly. No, that is actually a tremendous point. That is how you do it. You virtue signal, Casey.
Yes.
What did you make of the virtue signaling dress?
You kind of are in the same color scheme as AOC's dress. I know it's orange, but
Yes.
it kind of is reminiscent of that.
No, it's a Chick-fil-A, as Tyrus points out, it looks like a Chick-fil-A crumpled up bag.
It kind of does. But if you wore one maybe for your birthday party or something last week, what would it say? Like, fix the border, or maybe don't fly on private planes, something like that.
It would say, don't publish those pictures.
But it wouldn't have been sustainable. It wouldn't have been sustainable.
No.
We have to come back to this, to your point. Earth Day, sustainability. Do we care about taxes? Come on, it's piddly in the grand scheme of things of fixing the world, right?
No, but it's what she's saying is that the rich don't pay enough.
No,
Exactly.
correct.
The lady who made
Correct.
the dress should care about taxes more.
Correct. Yes,
Exactly.
she should worry about that. Maybe
Seems.
in some sense. But she also, the lady who made the dress, purchased a $1.6 million house in LA in 2020. So
And
she's
doesn't-
working class. I work. I need to check my bank account, but I'm not sure I can cash in on a $1.6 million.
She also hasn't paid the property taxes, according to that article. Another place where she is deviant, Kat. Speaking of deviant,
Thank you.
did you watch any of the Emmys?
Of course not. Why would I? Why would I? But I have been following all the news related to this dress.
Right. Okay.
And when AOC loved to brag, I'm so proud to have worn this dress made by this black woman immigrant designer. She's an immigrant from Toronto. She came from a suburb in Toronto. And AOC's like, she worked her way to the top. I'm like, from a suburb in Toronto? So it's so rare to find something that's completely this pure of
Yeah.
Usually there's like a grain of something nice or true. Can't find it here. So
Yes.
congrats on that, at least.
Yes. I'm also just getting tired of the idea that you have to tax the rich more than you already tax
No,
the rich. You know, it's a complete. It's who do you think is paying all the taxes? The rich. We're doing it already. And I say we because let's face it, I'm filthy rich now. Don't applaud. I'm joking.
Right.
I'm not filthy
not
rich.
joking.
I'm not filthy rich.
But you got to put something on your clothes.
Yes.
It has to like be a little pithy, unless you're like, I guess, Kim Kardashian, in which case you could probably put a brand new tax plan on the ass. But for her, like, you have to keep it pithy like that. So I actually saw it. I thought it's like the NPR version of a MAGA hat.
That's true.
That's basically what she was wearing.
Yes, exactly. What do you think, Tyrus? What is your take on all of this madness?
So you're rich, huh?
No, I was joking. I'm not rich.
No, he said it, then he realized he
He
was
said,
sitting there.
he realized
said
I was
we,
here.
and then-
Yeah, he was like, oh, hey, what's going on?
I am rich with friends and love. Thank you.
Well, I guess
And
it's
Krugerrands.
nice. Yes.
I have Krugerrands, Tyrus.
You let me finish, rich guy? Can the broke brother on Medium Street get a word in today? Jeez. Tax Gutfeld is what she needs to be wearing on my dress. You know, what's sad about this, there's not sad about this, is very typical for Democrats, is like the rules don't apply to friends and them.
Right.
Because if that would have been somebody else's dressmaker, I don't know, like a Melania Trump, and we heard all that, I mean, right now would be waiting for the public execution as they walk her out. Like, it's just unbelievable how much they will let go if you're on their side. Because shouldn't the woman who made that dress be exactly who she's going after?
Right. In fact,
A rich person who doesn't pay their taxes?
Yes.
That's literally
Yes.
who you. But the enemy of my enemy is still.
You notice she's not looking at it.
yeah,
like-
she's definitely not.
She doesn't want to think about that.
Exactly. But you know, you make a great point about. I think whenever Melania was wearing a designer, the media would go after the designer and ask, "Are you aware that the first lady's wearing one of your dresses? Are you offended by that?" That was always the story that they
Right,
went
yeah.
for.
They would always attack.
Yeah.
Attack. And this one, literally, the criminal is right next to you. Like, tax the rich. And she's like, yeah, do that.
Also, what is the Met Gala again? It just suddenly became a thing, right?
It suddenly became a thing. It's the Oscars without the movies. So you just show up in the dresses, and then everybody looks, and they pay $35,000 to walk around. And
costumes.
And it seems
costumes.
like
Well, you're missing the point. It's the new flowers where the swamp grows, because those free $30,000 tickets and $200, they got to pay that back somehow.
Ooh, very
There
good
you go.
point.
But also seems like it's always either Met Gala or Fashion Week or Pride Week or Ramadan. It's always one of those four things all the time.
you know, I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to think about that. All right. Before we go, a quick announcement. We're taking the show to Nashville next week, and we've just released more tickets. Remember, it was sold out? Go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld and look for the link on the left side of the page. This is going to be amazing. We sold out in an hour after we did this.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.